Okay, guys, it looks like we are live right now. Let me just save some changes so that all of the viewers can see us and can hear us. Hi, guys. Now we're switching to English actually because we're going international once again. Just let us know if you can see us and if you can hear us, if everything's okay, and we'll be ready to start with next presentation. It's 4:30, so we need to start the next topic: the Composable Enterprise Business Transformation with Mulesoft and the Power of APIs. And joining us today, we are very happy to say that joining us is Igor Babitsch, who brings his expertise to help companies across all industries to reshape their business models to unlock sustainable value coming from digital transformation. His goal, as he says in his bio, is to constantly drive global sales organization to higher levels of performance. Winning requires a system, says Igor's, process and metrics mindset. He enjoys constant evolution. It is all about creativity and continual learning that works best, and being willing to change quickly to more efficient and effective tools and techniques. I told you already about the theme of today's presentation, so let me just remind you that if something occurs mostly interesting to you, if you have any questions, if something concerns you, please be sure to leave your questions in the comments and also send them to our mailbox. We will ask those questions right after the presentation is over. We will have a Q&A session. So Igor, once again, it's great to have you among us in the S-Force community. Great to have you, and I hope that your presentation goes well. I will see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to be here and speak with you about the Composable Enterprise, how you can do business transformation using Mulesoft and especially the power of APIs. So this will be in focus today, and I'm very glad to be here. Okay, let's take a look on that topic and start with the power of APIs. And you might think, power of APIs, what is that? I am very, very sure that you are experiencing the power of APIs actually every day and multiple times per day when you're using your smartphone, your tablet, and using, for example, the Google Maps API or the Apple Maps API, which is one of the most used APIs worldwide, and billions of people use it, access it, and always every time they type in and look for destination, they are calling, in that case, the Google API or Apple API that provides this functionality. But it goes further than that. When you are using your smartphone and you are in your applications where all your photos and videos are shared, and you want to share a photo or more photos with your friends, families, colleagues in, for example, WhatsApp or whatever application, you have not so long ago just received this function on your smartphone that you can do it easily with just a few clicks. But what you do actually here is you are using, again, the beauty, the power, the magic of APIs and connect two applications, in that case, the photo app and WhatsApp. And there are so many companies out there like Airbnb, Uber, Booking, that don't have hotels, cars, don't have assets, but they have built platforms using the power of APIs to connect all the data from different providers to build up a new business model, to build up a new business, and are very, very successful with that, as we all know, and we all use. And my message here is, if they can do it, you can do it too. And Mulesoft is the platform that can help you with that. I'm going to talk about composability and what the effect is on innovation. So the composable enterprise. And from our point of view, composability is really the foundation and future of innovation. Because what Mulesoft is doing for customers is to build a repository of reusable APIs, to create a seamless digital experience and to innovate really, really fast. And our motto is, the modern application is actually composed and not coded. So Mulesoft is the, let's say, foundation, the technology that connects anything and helps companies to change everything. Let's take a look on the building blocks that Mulesoft provides to create a composable business. So with Mulesoft, you can create very easy to consume and reusable APIs, our building blocks. In every building block, security is considered per design. They are scalable, and as I explained, Mulesoft helps you to build up a repository where your business and your users, your IT, can provide it to make it discoverable, accessible through self-service. Let's take a look on the topic of application integration. I've touched on integration aspect in my example, sharing photos from one application to which was a photo application to, let's say, WhatsApp application or another messaging service or another application. So what is application integration per definition? It's a sharing of processes and data among different applications in an enterprise. Sounds easy. And again, this was the example here. But what we see, in fact, in reality, is that this is not so easy. And when we speak to key IT stakeholders, to business, then what we hear a lot is that traditional integration approaches can't keep up with the demand what they receive. And around 80% and even more of time and resources, budget, is companies spend on actually doing integration and not so much innovation. What we also see is, on the other hand, is that there's an explosive growth of systems that adds complexity to customers. And only 1/3 are really integrated. Let's take a look what's here actually the problem. And the problem is an exponential problem. So let's assume a business has two systems. So you will need to build one, let's say, integration between the systems. If the number goes to 3 systems, you need to build 3 integrations between them. If it goes to 4 systems, the number already starts to increasing to 6 integrations. With 5 systems, you need 10 integrations, with 6, 15, and so on and so forth. So an explosive growth, an exponential growth, and an exponential problem. And this is kind of a very typical situation that we see at customers. So the customers grow, they have growth, which is great, but also the number of systems is growing. And then it's become very messy to manage all that over time. So, but what is the actual problem here? So when you have a rising number of applications, you have also a rise of expenses, means expenses for interface design, for development, for testing, for creating the integrations. You have also to make documentations. So in general, you have a very high OpEx cost to maintain, to make changes. You add a lot of complexity because you use different technologies, you need different know-how. And also monitoring all this from end to end becomes a nightmare. But also disconnected systems lead to frustrated customers because processes take long, there is a lack of transparency, and also companies miss opportunities to use the data for cross-sell and upsell opportunities. And we all know if something is not working fast, not working smoothly, then we are turning to other alternatives for better experience. And the competition, as we all know, is only one click away. So how to solve this problem? What was done in the past? A typical, let's say, approach is to integrate point to point, from system to system. So you can build a quick solution to connect systems to A and B. But what's the problem here? it becomes expensive and very hard to manage the more connections are created, like we showed in the exponential example. Scalability is a challenge because the business delivers requests to the IT, and to scale it, to provide what is required in this, let's say, messy situation is a challenge. And you have not reusability. You have no reusability. You have to build always again and again new connections. So over time, point-to-point creates a lot of complexity and slows down the time to market to deliver projects on time and budget. Another alternative, what has evolved from point to point, was the Enterprise Service Bus, ESB. An Enterprise Service Bus basically patterns the service is called what we call a service-oriented architecture. So in the past, it was built to connect on-premise systems that companies have in their data center and to build for on-premise system integrations. The problem was, now there was an established common language for the applications to communicate, and architecture was built with reuse in mind. So the idea was to reuse the services that were created within ESB. But what went wrong? Well, mobile and cloud technologies emerged. And what companies wanted actually flexibility and wanted to reuse, but they ended up with a monolithic application. What they actually wanted was kind of a microservice. And this is what we see where customers want to go and want to learn more about. So how they can get away from a monolithic application that is hard to manage, difficult to maintain for all the different initiatives, how they can break it up in microservices that are much easier to manage, give much more flexibility, and how to achieve that. So the ESB and service-oriented architecture didn't really met the expectations. Reuse was not given because the monolithic applications were created. From cost and time perspective, that was also not effective, and it couldn't keep up with the requests that were coming from the business. So let's try to understand where are the alternatives and where Mulesoft fits into this graphic. So the point-to-point integration, when it comes to reusability, well, there is no actually reusability because it's connected from system to system individually. So it has high maintenance and low reusability. On the other hand, the ESB and service-oriented architecture was better in terms of reusability, and the idea was at least there, but it was a lack of agility because companies created monolithic applications that were not ready for cloud, not ready for mobile, not ready to implement omni-channel customer experience. But where Mulesoft is located is in the top right corner with high availability, high agility, and the aspect of reusability. So the building blocks to build a composable enterprise, to reuse the building blocks from project to project to project, and not always from building from scratch it again and again. So what Mulesoft stands for is the modern composed application, so what you can build very easily and reuse the building blocks, the APIs. And the essence here is to move fast, to create digital experience faster. So from time to market, Mulesoft shines here. Okay. What happens then when companies have adopted to this new world of cloud and mobile? What did wrong then? So now there was an increase of services and APIs and a need for putting security and governance to it. So existing vendors, what we see in that space, try to jump on this train and try to put on top an API management solution to the application stack. So what we have then seen is that traditional API management solution provides an API gateway to manage and to secure APIs and their endpoints. There are some developer portal and try to do the analytics, but a major problem remained. And this was on the backend side, the integration. So the backend challenges, they remained. And without Mulesoft, if we forget Mulesoft for a moment, what companies need to build modern application? And then we see that it's a huge complexity. There are solutions out there for API design, for API development, the API gateways. You need to build, and before you go with APIs into production, you need to test them, API portals, the backend integration. So there are so many technologies that would need to be considered without Mulesoft, where we basically combine all that into one platform. So what is Mulesoft? Mulesoft is the #1 integration and API management platform in one. We help enterprise customers to connect any application, data, or device. So to use pre-built connectors, templates, and tools to integrate anything. Enable self-service APIs. So as I said, we help to build a repository of reusable APIs to unlock data, to drive adoption at scale through really a central marketplace and through all channels. And also to make it simple and manageable. So to gain insights with the application network to use in multi-cloud environments. Today, Mulesoft is a leader in 2 areas. So when we take a look on analysts like Gartner, who have an iPaaS Magic Quadrant and the quadrant for API management full lifecycle, then you see that Mulesoft is positioned in both, because we provide in one piece of technology, we provide both worlds, both capabilities. So with the Mulesoft API, you have already the iPaaS component and the API management in one. So what are the benefits that we bring to the customers? So the accelerated delivery. So really to become more agile. So the business is growing, also the requests to the IT is growing, and here is where we can help customers to provide very fast business critical capabilities. Automated security. So security is included per design. Every building block considers security aspects to make it secure from cyber attacks, and to also apply a governance per default. Resilient operations. So it's really built for enterprise customers with high availability and built-in reliability. So you can scale and you have stable operations. And what Mulesoft is a future-proven platform. So whenever you make changes to your architecture, you replace your CRM platform, hopefully to Salesforce. You replace your ERP system. You replace your MDM platform. The flexibility is given from Mulesoft, so we can adapt easily to that, and the building blocks can live and work and can be used. Such challenges that we see are across the industries. So it's the challenge that we see, it's not only specific to one industry, but we see it in financial service industry, in retail, in manufacturing, healthcare, in all industries. And this is where we have helped many customers over the years. So with Mulesoft, you can really unleash the power of APIs, the power of Salesforce. We belong to the Salesforce family, not only to integrate Salesforce within your specific ecosystem, but also besides Salesforce, to integrate everything what you have, all your systems, all your applications, all your data, and all your devices. So thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to your questions.
Okay, and I'm back to give you some questions if you have some more time. Okay, we have the first one that came to our mailbox. Just let me show it on the screen and I read it to you also. How to help businesses formulate their needs so we can address them? How do we formulate the needs, or how do we help formulate needs of businesses?
Yeah. So Mulesoft has a process in place where we analyze with customer together their needs. So we have an approach where we first understand where the customer is. So we need to understand what is the current situation, what technologies what in systems and applications you have, what are the pain points that you experience, and what do you would like to achieve. Then we would try to analyze the systems and applications in scope, what integrations and APIs would need to be built, and how customers can realize with Mulesoft a concept that we call an API-led integration approach. So if we have this, let's say, three-step approach, then we can help customers to formulate their needs and we can address them.
Okay, we still have some time for your questions, so if you have any, please let us know, and then I will add this one. Okay, this is from our viewer. Is it only for big businesses? Isn't it too costly for small or middle entrepreneurs?
Great question, and the answer is no, it's for every business. So as I explained, there is the challenge with integration is an exponential challenge actually. So when you start adding systems and applications to your IT architecture, it can become very quickly difficult to manage. And Mulesoft can start immediately to add value here. So it's not only for big business, but we can start small. We need just to understand, okay, what are the actual systems and applications in scope? How many integrations we would need to build, and then we can address it. So we can start small with customers and grow with them together when their business is growing, when more complexity is added, but we can start small. And from cost perspective, also in our process, we, together with the customer, perform a business value creation. So we analyze, okay, those are the integrations and applications in scope that you need to build in the near future. How much do you spend today to build an average integrations? And then we can create a business case how we can improve that. So it's Mulesoft is for every customer, and we have all types of and all sizes of business, small companies, mid-size, and large enterprises. So it's a very scalable solution.
Great. And I think these are all the questions that came to our mailbox. I don't see any new questions. So if you have any questions, if any more questions to Igor, I think it's okay to, for example, find you on LinkedIn maybe and just ask you some additional questions.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, Igor, for joining us on S4 Summit 2022. And we really hope that we get to see you again very soon on our next edition of the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.